Hey guys, this is Chad Joyce with LaPlum Real Estate and welcome to our next edition of Foreclosure Friday. Today we are in Forest Hill, Texas. We are at 6716 Alma Street in Forest Hill. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home built in 1962, and we're looking at this as a potential rental property or a PadSplit or something like that. The house is listed for $225,000, which is actually a really great price for the market at this time. We don't have any information about the inside of the house or the condition, so we'll, like usual, we'll walk on in, we'll see what we find out. We've got our trusty flashlight, and unfortunately I broke one of my cardinal rules and I'm wearing shorts today because it's hot, so hopefully the grass is mowed and there's no fleas or anything like that. But let's go on in, let's have a look at this one, and let's see what we find. All right, here we are. And this is a new camera, guys. I got a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so maybe take a little bit getting used to. And I can already tell you right now, I should have worn pants because I walked right in that door and there's cobwebs everywhere. So it's all over my shoes right now. Gotta love that. But here we are. We walk right on in. We do have a bedroom right here. You can see, we do have stained carpet. Carpet was replaced at some point, but we got issues like right there. That's not blood. That looks like marker or crayon. We have seen blood before, but that was not it. Nice little ceiling fan, decent sized closet, good sized room. It's just right here, right off the front door. Like, look at that. Like, here we come walking right on in. Then we got some some decent flooring here. I got the flashlight. See how this camera handles it. Do have something on here. It looks like you can see there's a stain there. That's water damage. And also you can see right, I don't know if it's going to come through. No, it's not coming through very well. But right here, there's actually another patch repair that was done. So there was something with that roof. Let's see, can we find any flashlights? Or not flashlights, any light switches. Here's the main living room. No fireplace in here. You can see there is definitely some settlement cracks right there coming through. Looks like the camera's adjusting pretty well as we come through here. Here's some more settlement. So there's definite movement, and honestly it doesn't surprise me. You can see right over here too. See where this repair has been done? Something happened there. So it doesn't surprise me. A 1962 house in DFW is going to have that. Looks like this is interesting. Not sure what you can see. This almost looks like duct tape, like they taped the windows. Probably wanted to black out the windows or something. But yeah, that was duct tape, and it looked like you can see right here. See all that darkness? That's moisture that collected between the frame and the sheetrock from whenever they duct taped it. It's on all of them. Yeah, it's over here too. You can see little spots right there. So yeah, probably a broken seal on those windows, and they had the duct tape in there, and probably caused all sorts of problems. So let's go on down here, see if I can find the light. There we go. There's a light. Here's our first bathroom. Yeah, let me see if I can find a light. There we go. So they got the I guess engineered wood. You can see, it doesn't really go all the way. Well, it kind of does. It's just curved right here. right at the end. So there's a little bit of a leakage. Oops, we got a resident. There's a roach. Need to do an eviction. The showers were replaced at some point, so they don't look too bad. The toilet doesn't look bad at all. Just needs to have some new, I guess, flooring in here because there was water damage. The vanity has been recently replaced. So, I mean, there were attempts here. And also, if you look over here, there's a little extra area. What do we got back here? Okay, and some little cabinet space. So, you know, what I was thinking about with this house and this price range, especially with 4 bedrooms, is this would be something that, you know, you've heard me talk about it before. I don't know if we have the light working here. Nope. I turned the light. There we go. You heard me talk about it before, but there's a company called PadSplit where you can basically rent out rooms. And we'll look. God, they did the same thing here. Look at that. Got all sorts of moisture. These windows are old. These are old single pane windows. And they've got all sorts of moisture. You can see right along there. But anyways, what I was saying about PadSplit is you can rent out individual rooms, you know, for people. So you could have 4 tenants in here, each paying a certain amount. You can see we got to replace some carpet and stuff like that. That looks like an iron. I don't want to know what that was, honestly. Uh-oh, looks like we got broken glass here. We'll figure out what that is in a second. I wonder if we got a busted window somewhere. Yep, we do. Let's see. No light switch. Well, the light's kind of working. You can see it's trying to turn on. Anyway, somebody broke this window from the outside. So, and they haven't come in. This must have been done recently. All the glass is down there. Not sure if it's picking up, but this is the primary bedroom. Here's their bathroom. See if we get a light switch on in here. There we go, yay. Again, same flooring. All the flooring needs to be replaced. Looks like this may actually not be too bad. Especially if you're looking at it for a rental. I mean, you're missing a shower head. You can buy one of those for $10 and screw it on. But again, PadSplit will allow you to lease out in each individual bedroom, and it gives you a platform for that too. So while you're going to have a little bit higher turnover, well, that's busted. Looks like we're going to have to get some light in here. Something was going wrong with this. You'd have to get this checked out, but probably be replaced. I don't. Manufacture date, you can see right there, was 12/17. So shouldn't be too bad, but obviously something was wrong. Oh good, the lights work on this one. Here's the 3rd bedroom, really the 4th bedroom now. But PadSplit will allow you to rent out each individual room, maybe give you some extra extra income. Another settling crack there. These bedrooms are kind of small, but then again, this is only a 1,230 square foot home. Another thing to consider for this home would be to look at the housing agencies and see what you can get in this area for a 4-bedroom house. We're gonna go on in here to the kitchen. See if I can. Here's a light switch. So we'll get this turned on, then we'll come on back. There we go. Looks like we got granite countertops. Not bad. Stainless steel dishwasher. We're missing the stove. That's not a real backsplash. That is just paper. Stainless steel microwave. Looks like it's probably seen better days. You can tell it's a little rusty and dirty. But you could probably clean this off and save it. Not too bad. Obviously no oven or cooktop. Do have some evidence of water damage under here, so we might want to check that and replace that. So decent little kitchen. Here's the laundry room, and looks like there was some plumbing issue here. See if we can get a light switch on. Nope. Does this one work? Oh, there we go. Good. It's always fun trying to figure out which light switch works what. So yeah, there were some plumbing repairs. You can see 3 spots here. This looks to be electrical, and it looks like something was chewing on something right here. Not sure if you can see that very well. Let's see. There you go. So I'm not sure what that was. Looks like the panel's been replaced. It's in good shape. I don't see a date anywhere, but this is not the original panel, obviously. And then over here we got the hot water heater. Let's see. I don't see a date on this one either. We'd have to go check the serial number, but the last 2 digits are 98. So it doesn't look like a 98 unit. It looks like it's a little bit newer, but you have to check that out as well. Let's go look out in the backyard, see what we see back here. Well, I'm not walking out there. You guys can't really tell, but that grass is tall and I didn't wear long pants and I am not getting fleas. That happens a lot with these homes. If they get vacant and they haven't been taken care of, you get the taller grass, especially when it's wet. It's been raining a lot here lately. There's the AC unit. That looks to be a little more recent. Wooden fence around here. We're missing some panels and posts. The wooden fence is actually the neighbor's. Our fence is the chain link fence on this house. You can see it's chain link behind there too, and chain link over this way. So, you know, you would probably want to add a little bit something for that. And then all sorts of mud and water, a little bit of wood up there. Yeah, the chain link ends right here, you can see. And then it's the shared fence. So that's this house. Like I said, I think we got some potential in here. Let's go on into the office. Let's look at the numbers and see what we come up with. All right, guys, we're back in the office and we're going to take a look and see if there's anything that we can do with this property. Just as a reminder, what we just walked through, the address is 6716 Alma Street in Forest Hill, right here. They just dropped the price to $225,000. You can see it was $240,000. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1,230 square feet, 2-car garage. Now that garage only had exterior access, so we didn't walk through it. But it is a 2-car garage. So we're going to check out these things. Kind of see if there's any way that we can make some money at this. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at comps. And I already pulled it up a little bit, kind of give an idea of what there is. What I did a 1-mile radius around the property. You can see right here. Let me get this back over here. 1-mile radius right here is our search area. We're looking at closings in the last 90 days, and we're going plus or minus 5 years. The house was built in 1962, so we're looking at homes that were built between 1957 and 1967. I'm trying to keep it a little bit open to kind of see if we can get some more information, just because sales in the Metroplex have been slow this year. If you're unaware of that, sales are definitely slowing down. We are not in a seller's market anymore. This is definitely a buyer's market. So let's clear that out. This is what we pulled up, and we'll go back over to the mouse, and we had 28 matches. So as you can see, you know, the first 18 of them are in some sort of active state. Active means there's no contract on the property, they're not doing any inspection. So you can see these first right here, 14 are active, the next 4 are pending. Okay, pending means they have got a contract on them and they've already done their inspections and they're waiting on either a lender or a title company to close. They haven't hit their closing date yet. So that's where we are. Now if we look at this really quickly, you can see here's our house. Our house is actually kind of high, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It is probably priced higher because it is a 4-bedroom. You have a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath right here. 1,408 square feet. Let's go look at the pictures on that one. I'm just curious. That's 205,000. Let's go see what that one looks like. One car garage. You know, looks kind of similar to what we walked through. Yeah. You know, messed up carpet, partially updated bathrooms. You can see right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can. Little crack, settlement crack right there. Let's see what else we got. We'll clear that out. Yeah, the, you know, older, you can see how dirty it is, like right down here. Bunch of dirt, the settlement crack right there, settlement crack right there. So hopefully you guys can see it. So this honestly actually appears to be in pretty similar shape to our property. So I would say right now, just based on this, our property is overpriced. Now keep in mind, I've been saying, you know, we are in a declining market. It is not a buyer's market. It is a it is a buyer's market, not a seller's market. Sellers do not have the power right now. This is not 2021, 2022, or even 2023. People are dropping their prices because buyers are not out. And as you can see, you know, we have 18 active and 10 sales in the last 30 days, which means we're looking at about a 5-month inventory level, which is what a normal market has, but it has not been what has been normal for the last 8 years. You know, if you're hitting 3 months on the market, people are flipping out wondering what's wrong with your house. Used to be 3 to 6 months was a normal marketing time, and that's coming back, and people are going to have to understand that. Problem is, people's loans are resetting, people have to move for jobs, and they've got to liquidate something fast that is not liquidable right now. High interest rates, low wages, you know, all those are coming into factors for these homes. So let's look and see what we got on the closings. Well, this is a typo. I looked at this house. It's the same floor plan. It is supposed to be sold for $220,000. So that's actually kind of what I'm looking at for, you know, what our aftermarket value is about $220,000. Now we did have this one sell for $256,000, but that's in a different area. I think it's a little bit farther away, about half a mile away. We can look and see at that one. But I would say, you know, we're really looking at a $230,000 house. Let's see this one. Yeah, see this one's all completely updated. Those are all new cabinets, all new flooring. So this would be in good shape, not average market shape. Let's get that away. We'll go look at the other one. The one that the agent said sold for $22,000. And this is why I said it's really $220,000. I mean, the list price was $220,000. So they just didn't type it in correctly. So let's look at it. Here's our pictures. And see, look, this is a average home. We got some, I think these are tiled countertops, I can't really tell, but it's not the flipper flooring, even though this is nice flooring. You have some nice luxury vinyl planking here, but it's not a flip house. It's not everything replaced. They don't give us that many pictures. I want to say that has a tile countertop. But anyways, I would consider that a little bit inferior condition than the one we just saw, and probably the fair market value for the house. Let's see, one thing we should always check, yep, right here. Seller paid, on top of dropping their sales price to $220,000, they paid $5,750 of closing costs for the buyer. So that's also something to be considering when you're looking at some of these comps. So if you remember, we have our spreadsheet, and here I got all the property information. I already filled in our ARV at $220,000. I did cosmetics at $35 a square foot. I don't think you need to put high-end stuff into this home. It's an older property, and I think you can get away with a little bit cheaper materials. We did notice settling in that house, so I put $8,000 for the foundation. I didn't put anything for the electrical HVAC or roof at this time. So that kind of gives us a $51,000 repair. You know, target purchase price 102, which I don't think you're going to get it for. I put in here 170, and let's go back over here to the comps. I'll show you why. Remember, here's our comps, and right here, this house, 3289 Centennial. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,315 square feet, 2-car garage, built in 67. So very similar to our property. And let's look at the pictures. You'll see. I mean, this looks similar. Like we have the busted up walls. We have the flooring that needs to be replaced. You know, like right here, you can see a settlement crack right there. Let's see what else we find. You know, older. You know, right here, older countertops, older cabinets, missing stove. You know, so I really think this one's kind of a good indicator of what the value of the Alma property looks like. So they got this home right here, closed price 173, seller paid nothing. It was actually a conventional loan, so it probably could be a hard money loan. And since this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,315 square feet, I kind of figure a smaller house, even though it does have an extra bedroom, you know, 170 would probably be a pretty fair price. So that's why I put in here purchase price 170. Now, we're going to go talk about the rent here in a second, because that number right there, 2730, that's interesting. You're going to want to see that. Taxes on the home are 5428. I think I overestimated insurance, but you know, just to be safe. And here's how you calculate that. Here's the millage rate and the tax assessed value. So coming over here, obviously, here's your acquisitions cost. You know, plus your remodel. So if you flipped it, you're losing money. Not a good flip. You're looking at your total earnings of minus $17,000, and that's just if you do it cash and you don't finance it. So the thing that I'm interested in this house is twofold. What can I get on the market for rent? And then let's get creative. What can I get if I went Section 8 or government housing? And what could I get if we did a PadSplit? And remember, a PadSplit is where you lease out each individual room. So you could have 4 tenants in this house, okay? Each leasing out the rooms on a weekly or a monthly basis. Gives you a little bit higher turnover, but also could increase your rent. So, what I did, let's go back over here. Here's our rental comps. And we did a 1 mile radius, same as the sales comp, 1 mile radius plus or minus 5 years on the construction. And what you can see is, you got a couple of things backwards. You have this one, 1,405 square feet, at least for 1,600, 1,195, 1,675, 1,730, 1,850. So I mean, you can get 1,650 to 1,700 on this house depending on how nice it is. Let's look and see. Like this one, I believe was fully updated. Let me see. Well, they don't even have interior pictures, so I don't know. Let's see about the one before that. Give it a second. There we go. So let's see what we look like. Yeah, so this one has the tile flooring throughout. It has basic countertops. These aren't fancy. Those are Formica countertops. But all this flooring is new. Stainless steel. Let's see what else we got. See, that looks all nice and clean. Looks like the cabinets are the originals, just been repainted. They do have a fireplace. So, yep, that's that one. So I kind of put in here, if we were going to rent this out via the market, I think $1,650. All right, so let's go over. Let's look at our calculations. Here's our rental rate, 80% LTV. And remember that LTV is based off of let's see, D23, what was that one? Our ARV value. So it would cost you $47,000, a little over $47,000 to get into this house at this loan rate. And if you're leased out for $1,650 a month, you're still losing $436 a month. Now, that's not good. We don't want to do that. That's not going to be a high appreciating area. That's a 60-year-old home. It's nearing the end of its economic life. We need that thing to print out money. So here's where it's interesting. You can go over to, this is the Tarrant County housing small area fair market rents. They list this out. This is public information. You can go find this. You can Google it. They list it out by zip codes and bedrooms. We are in zip code 76140, which is right here. Oops, that. And we're a 4-bedroom. This is where it gets interesting. What I would want to check. Get off that. It's 27. Good grief. Stop that. Right here. It's $2,730. You can see, I'm just going to circle it because we're having a hard time. Oop, I can't do it on this page. Alright, try it again. Just highlight, there we go. Now you can see $2,730. That's interesting. If that number is actually true and you can do that, we can go back over here, put into our rent. Right here, $2,730. And now, look at that. You're getting a cash-on-cash return on that house of 16% a year. Doesn't include appreciation. Okay? Profit, $643 a month. Your cap rate's only 3.46%, but you know you're going to be getting some cash-on-cash on this coming out, and you're going to be making $7,700 a month if that number is correct. So that's why it pays to have some relationships there with the housing authorities, and you can check this information. Now, the other thing I wanted to check is PadSplit. Now, keep in mind, PadSplit, you can go onto their website, it's padsplit.com. You can type in a zip code. So I can type in 76140, that's Fort Worth. We can look it up. And this one has a bedroom leasing out for $185 a week. I don't necessarily think, you can see on these pictures, this is a bigger house than what we were showing in our home. So I don't think you can get 185, but maybe you can get 140, maybe you can get 150. You got 4 bedrooms. If it's 150, you can keep those leased out. That's $2,400 a month. Now come back over here. Obviously that's not going to be as good as $2,730, but even at $2,400 a month, you're still looking at, you got 8% cash on cash. We want that to be a little higher. We want that to be double digits. So that's why if you're looking at this house and you're considering this one, this is a rental play, and I would check your housing authority to see about those numbers and see if that's what you can get for that house. Alright, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I think there are definitely some possibilities for this house, and there are some ways that you can make it work for you. Remember, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home for only $225,000. We don't have many homes like this on the market, so if you can get a little creative and you can get, if you're willing to do that, then I think there's opportunity for you. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to start doing these again every week. I've been sick for a little while, so I apologize for missing a couple of weeks there. But we're going to keep making these videos. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. And again, as always, my contact information is below. If you have any questions or you have anything real estate related, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Enjoy showing you guys this house. Until next time, you guys have a good one. We'll see you later.